Mr. Bond, yeah.
Mr. Bart.
Alrighty. Without any further ado, we'll call the meeting to order and motion, we need a motion to approve these minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Second, any changes? to the
No,
minutes?
nothing.
You have,
Thank you.
okay, none?
No.
All those in favor adopted, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, vote unanimous. Item two, discuss the purchase vehicle, sheriff's department, that's the vehicle that you guys ran over with, you hit the deer,
The poor deer.
you hit the deer,
The
yeah.
deer ran into
I
you.
suppose the deer didn't make out too well, huh?
He did not, but a Strafford County resident got a nice dinner from it.
Okay, all right, well, at least it didn't go to, it wasn't a deaf in vain then. huh?
That's right.
Oh, God.
That's what happens when you live in the distance.
Yes, right. So, basically, kind of where it landed, I've got just a little memo here for you
I
guys.
asked him to, yeah, I asked,
No, it's all one packet,
yeah, oh, okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you're one step ahead of me.
Oh, nice.
So, basically, to just kind of give you a quick overview of what I did. Ray and I met, to discuss, possible replacements. The Ford Escape is on the state bid. Rochester PD just recently went to those for their detective bureau cars, and had good results with them because the Fusion is no longer being made. The state bid price on that's $27,500. The problem is when I reached out to the dealership, which is McFarland, who has a location in Rochester and Exeter. They said, well, the one on the state bid is the base model and Ford is no longer making it. Which seemed kind of ridiculous, but so the next level up is the Escape Active. So I started to do some research on that, and it's a few $1,000s more. I talked with 4 different dealers based on information I'd gotten from Chief and as well as Deputy Chief Swanberry in Rochester, who have dealt with vehicle purchases. And Irwin Motors gave me a price for one that's on their lot, and that's down under the quote section there. Basically, they were giving us a $2,600 discount. Grapponi Ford also gave us a $2,100 discount. These are again all for ones that are on the lot. Salem Ford, which is part of Key Auto Group, which obviously has locations here in Strafford County. They were a little bit less of a discount at only about $1,000 discount. And then McFarland, their vehicle was slightly different than the other 3 that were quoted. It has an additional package on it, which is kind of ironic. It's the one that stops the car if something goes in front of it.
Where was
You
that
should have had
feature?
it before the deer.
But, and they gave us a $1,500 discount on that vehicle. So, those are sort of the quotes. And then the only other thing that we had to consider was the fact that, the equipment that was taken out of the Fusion that was damaged, needs to be put back in. And I talked with Major Burke and Justin Mellon downstairs, and they're able to do that. They estimated right around $1,000 in parts to put all that equipment back in, including the radio, and the emergency lights. So when I did contact these dealers, I didn't tell them that I was talking to other dealers. I also didn't tell them sort of what the other quotes were that I had gotten. So it was not truly a sealed bid process, but it was again independent based on what they had available and what they were willing to do for us. So that's the overview. The rest of the packet is just the window stickers from those different dealerships, so you can kind of see how they compare with one another and what the number that they quoted for.
Is some of this equipment, it's in the old vehicle, able to be transferred?
Yeah, they were able to pull all that out, and this is just new wires and there's a
So I
few,
imagine that is there a cage in this vehicle?
no,
No.
By wiring adapters and different things,
Yeah.
because each iteration of vehicles that comes out, you have to.
Right, it changes.
Yeah.
The electronics of it
Electronics,
changed.
yeah, it would change.
The can I just talk a little bit about the background?
Yeah.
We received,
$15,300.
from the,
We're
for
taking
the,
this additional 10 out of his pay.
the proposal would be, Mr. Chairman, is that, we use the money that was, given to it, well, not given to us.
Paid
but
to us by.
paid to us by the insurance company. We keep out the $1,000 that it would take to, redo the electronics. Fortunately, we have somebody on staff. We don't have to pay anybody to, to do the transfer of equipment, because as you know, that's pretty expensive. And we go with the lowest price, bid, and finance the difference, as we do with all of our new vehicles.
Okay, so what's the,
Erwin,
is it everyone?
Irwin is the lowest, yes.
I move to award the bid to Erwin Motors.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion, question? Not hearing all those in favor of adoption of the motion, give us saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, vote unanimous.
Stay away from the deer, okay?
So Bob, if you could get me an invoice
I
for
will.
that vehicle.
This is gonna be a
and then-
green car,
And then we'll come back with the loan documents probably next week.
Okay.
If I can get, the sooner I can get an invoice,
Sounds
the
good.
better.
I'll reach out to Steve today.
Okay.
All right.
Can we get some Greek blue on this one?
What's good?
Greek blue, yeah. Yeah, heard of that? Yeah, it's Greek blue. This one got a Greek flag.
Anything else from Ann's, right?
No, thank
When
you
go to
for
Greece, you always see
the
Have
document
to build
that
in Greece,
provides good backup for the
I
money.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right,
That was the next time I'm there.
yeah. Send me some photos.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath.
The next item, Mr. Chairman, is,
I saw the machine being, you heard a demonstrator where.
No.
No, that was actually our machine that's been carried in and out, going to the shop and at Formax around the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've had a unit, for a number of years now. It's on its last leg. It's on life support. And I think on a weekly basis, we've had their maintenance people come over. They actually, last week, what you saw them bring in and out is our unit, but they brought it around the corner to see what they could do. It's still giving us problems, so we really need to get a new one.
it's about 10 years old.
Yeah,
But
it's
what-
done over 1 million
check.
folds and,
Yeah, imagine it would.
inserters, yeah.
Yeah, so this would be for all of the.
Yeah, finance.
Well, it's for all of the county paychecks and all of the county payables.
Mhm, yeah,
It,
every week.
otherwise you imagine, you'd have somebody folding it, put it in an envelope and.
We used to do that.
Look in the envelope,
Yeah.
no, that.
We need a person just to do
Yeah,
that.
we need a person just to do that.
I
which
used to
is
spend all day
ridiculous.
signing checks. That's all I did all day long. Took us 4 to 5 hours signing every payroll check.
Was that when we were calculating payroll with an abacus?
Yeah.
We would have a chisel and a hammer.
Chisel and a hammer. Yeah. Yeah.
We still downstairs, it's a bit of a boneyard of some equipment, but there's the old check signing machine that had to be
Yeah,
hand
Had to be
cranked.
hand cranked. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't part
How
with
many
this stuff.
people did you have up
Yeah.
there?
I
Yeah,
remember when we used to stamp them.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is in the current budget, the 2024 budget. Normally, we don't, spend funds, but it'd be ridiculous to hire the amount of money we pay for somebody to
Yeah.
come in for a couple of months.
Well,
Yeah.
they pay the machine.
Would pay for the whole machine and then some.
yeah. And
If we could find anybody.
yeah, and we have an existing maintenance contract. You see the maintenance contract for 738. We have an existing contract that we've had all along, so that's not an additional
So,
expense.
okay, so that contract remained in force and there's no.
It would just be, we'd get rid of this machine, that contract,
Yeah.
we'd have a new contract for this machine.
How
It would
much is
replace
it?
everything.
How much is the machine?
4,975 is the, you know what? I made these copies for you guys. I made it, I should have handed these on. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I only know because I've seen all this stuff before, so.
Well, it's under 5,000, you don't need
Right, yeah.
competitive bid anyways.
Right.
And it is nice because Formex is just around the
Yeah,
corner,
yeah.
so it's quicker
Yeah.
for service.
Yeah, all right, I move to,
We work for that.
yeah,
Second.
Okay, any further discussion regarding that? All right, all those in favor of adoption, by saying aye, the motion, those opposed, the vote unanimous.
Thank you. I'll ask them to order it today. Thank you.
Okay.
Item 4 is we did receive an invitation from SOS.
Yeah,
Just to meet with them and get an update on their plans for 2024. So I thought it might be easier to invite SOS
here
here.
and have lunch downstairs.
Yeah, and just, I mean, they are the ones that talked about lunch, but I don't know that that's necessary.
Right.
We could
Just
just
meet.
try and invite them to a future commissioners meeting.
Yeah. That works.
That would be Mr. Burns, is that correct?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman?
John Burns, yeah.
Okay. I thought so. I just wanted to be sure I was right.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. We got some upcoming events. We got any old or new business to discuss? You can hear the cars that got wrecked?
No, sir.
Yeah.
And we made it through our first couple of plowings without any dents, so. We without any dents in actually, just so I can comment on that, Mr. Chairman, Doug's done a nice job with segregating the parking. You know, as.
Yeah, I
as
saw,
they're
I saw
doing
the plan.
Yeah, as they're
They mailed
doing
it-
the
they emailed it to
plowing
us.
and it's really, it's made for much quicker lessons overtime by having that our people don't have to come back because they missed a spot or two. It's really a wise plan for how he's made it work, and it worked very successfully when we've used it this year, or this season, I should say.
Okay.
And we're also obviously being a little smarter too about not moving snow. You remember in the upper parking lot of the House of Correction, we would be in a position of, there's no way to get the snow out of there.
Right.
So we'd have to use the bucket loader
Yeah,
and
just to bucket it
the
out.
truck, but, you know, I suggested that we sit down and watch the weather. If it's gonna be a rainstorm and everything's gonna melt, as long as nothing floods, there's no point in
Yeah.
dumping the snow off the field. So we've been focusing in on that, and that's worked out pretty well.
Alrighty. Well, any other old or new business we need to talk about? We're working on the budget, so. Alrighty, well then, item 7,
Susan, anything? Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's item 7, Susan.
You just automatically assume.
Well, it's just, it's that point in the
Yeah, I know,
agenda.
I know.
Yeah.
I read in the newspaper that, one of the county employees that used to work for us, who basically, for lack of a better word, embezzled funds or did something with funds that she wasn't supposed to, was both to plead guilty. And it said in the newspaper that we were insured against that loss. And my question is when she did this plea deal, is restitution part of that? And does that restitution get paid back to the county? In which case, where does the insurance money come into play? Do we have to pay that back? Or how does that all work out? And my second question has to do with the situation, and I fully understand if you cannot discuss it, is with the former sheriff. Were we covered for that loss?
The answer, so I'll start with the first one.
Yeah,
We're fully insured. We're actually insured, the payment to us is gonna be greater than the amount of restitution that she needs to pay. So the Attorney General's office, who's kind of tight-lipped about,
I understand.
but what they have told us is this, it doesn't, in terms of the charge that's placed against the person, as long as it exceeds a certain amount of money in the statute, it doesn't matter to them as long as because that's what classified as a felony.
Mhm.
So they can easily prove $71,000. We believe it's $81,000. Our insurance company is gonna reimburse us to the 81,000. A restitution is part of the proposed plea agreement. What we don't know is if she's going to walk in with a check for $71,000. If so, that money will be given to the insurance company.
Okay,
And we will have, and we have the $81,000. And the answer is yes. Now that, as you know, that's further along in the criminal justice process than the sheriff's is. But I can assure you that whatever happens with the sheriff, the attorney general is well understanding that we expect our $19,000 back. As part of any kind of.
settlement or whatever.
Correct. Correct. And we do have we do have the advantage of having someone who now works at the Attorney General's office who fully understands the Sheriff Brave situation. That's Tom Velarde's
Yeah.
new job, is actually it supervises that unit. So I've been in touch with him and as well as Primex, our carrier, and they're both well aware. In fact, Primex is actually anxious. They want to pay us now. In advance of the plea. The plea is January 31st from the.
For the sheriff,
No,
or for
the,
this lady.
yes,
Okay.
that plea is January 31st. They want to pay us in advance so that the Attorney General's office, if she doesn't come in with a check, the Attorney General's office can ask the court to make them the receiver of the restitution. And that way we don't get it at the county, then have to turn it over to our insurance. It just saves that one step.
And where does this show up in your income and in your budget?
It will actually show up as past revenue, money that, so it will come in as a miscellaneous revenue.
Okay.
And you'll see that in the 2024 miscellaneous revenue.
Okay, that
For
was
the
gonna be
nursing.
my next question. So it's coming up, it will be in this year's fiscal budget.
Correct. It will be in this, unless for some, by the time we get it all done, it'll be in this 2024's Riverside Rest Home miscellaneous revenue.
I'll be looking for it.
Yes, ma'am. I see, you'll certainly see it in the first quarter budget report.
Alrighty. Any other questions or comments?
Did you answer, maybe I,
Oh, I didn't.
Well, Braves is
Yeah,
ongoing.
Braves is ongoing and we don't know where that's gonna end up.
That's correct.
But the insurance company,
Okay.
we're covered for that amount of money.
Yes,
And
we
we'll
are.
also be receiving that, or have we received?
We have not received that yet. It's not far along
Enough
enough
in the process.
in the process.
All right, so we got all your questions answered?
For today.
Okay, great. Well, when you think of some more, let us know.
Okay.
Anytime, anytime.
Yeah, anytime.
I'll speak up.
Alrighty.
Oh,
What?
could I mention one other
Sure.
thing, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
It's my understanding that the speaker system has arrived.
Well, I was gonna ask you about that, but I thought I'd just, and I know you guys have a workshop meeting coming up. And so I'm hoping that the delegation gets to try out those new microphones, because I doubt that there's a public comment session during that workshop. And that they enunciate their words so that we can understand what they're saying.
We will have, that system will be set up for that meeting, is my understanding. It
I'm
came-
gonna go
it-
down in history over that one.
It came in this week. It came in this week.
Do you need something to test it?
Yeah, so it came in this week, so we know we'll have it. We've been promised that it'll be set up for the 22nd.
I'll be there.
Okay. We all good, guys?
Yeah.
We're good now, okay, all right. I know he is the moving on public, that's personnel. Moving second is the roll call, Commissioner Watson.
Good to see you. Susan.
Yes.
Myself, yeah. Commissioner, retired to executive session.
You keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
Oh, as I get more and more the county was never a big interest to me. I was more local and state, just because of where my work kind of took me. So now, guess what? I'm more interested in the county.
You're more, what we'd like to see.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
have a good day.
And then two on that other Saturday issue.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know where they're going.
We'll go in and see if an update on that other issue. This Saturday.
Oh.